If you guys are looking for some coins to get the best FIFA 18 squads, then check out mulefactory.com. They're the cheapest site I found for coins. They deliver in 5 minutes. Now they even pay you back for your card, cover your 5% transfer fee with a brand new player auction wizard. And if you use TGC Kurt5 at checkout, you get 5% off your order. Check them out with the link down below now. What's up guys, Kurt's here and welcome to a brand new FIFA 10 to FIFA 18 video. Today we're going to be kicking off our summer of fun with a transfer episode. Now of course we've done these quite a few times before in previous years, and we love these transfer ones. It's super fun looking at how the players have changed from FIFA 10 to FIFA 18 in all the latest transfers. And of course, the transfer window opened early in England and a few other nations too. And it's been open for, I think, almost 2 weeks. Maybe, yeah, 2 weeks. I think it opened 2 Thursdays ago. I'm not exactly sure. But so that's what we've got today. We have 11 transfers that have happened so far. Some were like kind of already agreed like a month or two ago, and the rest have been agreed this week. Obviously, we were ridiculously active last week again with videos. We were kind of proper back with a bang. And thank you guys so much for the support on them. The numbers have been amazing and you guys have been absolutely top class. However, I didn't upload over the weekend really because I was in Amsterdam. I went away for a trip with some friends for 4 days. So we're back today with this transfers one, and we should have a few cool videos up over the next few days. So, without any further ado, we're going to start off with our first player, and that's Ricardo Pereira. Now, he has just signed for Leicester City. He's signed for a fee of 25 million euros. Now, if we go back years and years ago, he used to play for Vitória Guimarães, I'm not sure how you say it, the Portuguese side. I'm sure you've seen them, they're definitely in the game now. He moved to Porto in 2003, had a little bit of time there, but then after FIFA 15, he actually went on loan for 2 seasons to Nice. He was a right winger at the start. He kind of was a little bit from forward, then moved back. And he's been playing at right back basically for the majority of the last 18 months. Sorry, longer than that, 2.5 years, because even the second half of FIFA 16 he was there. And he's been pretty strong. He started to be called up for Portuguese national side a little bit. He's played a few games for them as well. But on top of that, he returned to Porto this year and was absolutely fantastic in the Porto side. But Leicester have just picked him up for 25 million euros, which for me, pretty good. I think they definitely needed to improve on the right back. Danny Simpson was, you know, he hasn't had the best of years, and I think this is a really, really exciting signing if he does well and settles well in the Premier League. But that is it for that one. We're going to move on now to a slightly more obscure one. This is Marius Wolf. Now, some of you may have heard of him, some of you may not. I'm sure you guys are aware just how well Eintracht Frankfurt have done this season in the Bundesliga. Now, if I get his exact stats up. So, in 27 starts, he's got 5 goals, 8 assists, 3 man of matches for them, just pretty solid. When he's played in attacking midfield centre, 6 games there, he's got 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 goal contributions. He's played like DM, centre mid, right wing. He's basically played all over the place. But second half of the season in particular, he's been really, really strong going forward and been part of that Eintracht Frankfurt side that performed really well. Obviously won the DFB Pokal, was it? And then, yeah, they've done pretty well in the league this season. So, anyway, we're talking about him. He's moved to Dortmund for 5 million euros. If you look at the last few seasons, he was at a few different German sides. Then last year, moved to Eintracht Frankfurt, where he's obviously been this year, up to 73. I'd imagine, well, after his move to Dortmund, he'll probably be a low-rated gold. But really interesting one. Could be an exciting young player, that's for sure. Just realised, how many times have I done this? I've literally done this, like, this sort of series a million times, and I've forgotten that I stick the players in. Absolutely no idea what I'm doing. But anyway, as you can see, he's had a few informs and been pretty good this season for Porto. And then we'll include Marius Wolf as well, who has had an upgrade this year. Marius Wolf, as you can see right there, here we go, he has gone from 67 to 73 and he's played in a few different positions. Enough of that, there's another player on the screen that you can see, and that is of course Fabinho. Now Fabinho, as I'm sure many of you are aware, just signed for Champions League runners-up Liverpool Football Club. Now Fabinho has been fantastic for Monaco for the last couple of seasons. Another upgrade for him again this year, looking fantastic in game. He signed for 40 million euro, which is quite a transfer fee. As you can see in FIFA 14 and FIFA 15, he was a right back. Now this right back was interesting. He actually went on loan to Real Madrid before FIFA 14, which is really bizarre. He went on loan, played 30 games for their B team and played 1 game for their A team, which just is so odd. He then moved to Monaco. And so originally only went on a loan, and then he's progressed as the season's gone on. They obviously picked him up permanently after the first season, and he was part of that Monaco side that were absolutely class last season. And there you go, he's got his move now this year, and he's off to Liverpool. There's lots of talk of him going to United for quite a long time, never did materialise, but he's off to bitter rivals Liverpool Football Club. Next up we have Florin Andone. I've never been sure how you say this guy's name. He's an interesting player. He's always like player to watch at like a big tournament and stuff like that. I remember when Romania played, everyone was like, oh, this guy's going to be unbelievable. He's got some pretty strong goal scoring stats, pretty like consistently like 1 in 2, not bad at all. And he's just moved to Brighton, which is a really interesting one. €6 million, which I think is pretty cheap for the talk that this guy gets. Whether or not he's going to convert in the Premier League, who knows? But so as you can see, he started off at Cordoba, I've never been sure how you say it, before moving to the top division with Deportivo La Coruña in FIFA 17, and then obviously he's been there this year as well. Nice little upgrade. He's up to a 79. He seems like the sort of player that might actually suit into Brighton's front line. A bit of physicality, could be interesting. We're looking forward to seeing how he gets on next year. But we're going to jump now to Rodrigo. Now this is someone that I honestly am not that familiar with. As you can see, he only has 1 card in the history of FIFA. Rodrigo is going to be, I think he's been upgraded. One of those awkward players that are just hard to find in FIFA. Rodrigo started off as a 70 rated silver, got upgraded to 77, and then has this 81 rated card. But he, rather interestingly, has just signed for Atletico Madrid. Played 63 games for Villarreal. I don't know how he doesn't have a card. It doesn't really make any sense to me. Like, he's been there for a while. How he's not had a card in FIFA before, I just don't know. Really, really odd stuff. But he just signed for Atletico Madrid for, I believe it's €20 million. So, going to be interesting. Atletico Madrid have a lot of good central midfielders, particularly Spanish ones. So, don't know how he'll fit in there, but we will ultimately see very, very soon. Next up, we have a player that I'm a big fan of, particularly in my Football Manager save. I have him at Bayer Leverkusen, and he has a ton of fun. He's scoring bags of goals for me. But Lautaro Martinez has just signed for Inter Milan. There he is. I can find him in FIFA. Now, as you can see, started off as a 72, up to a 79, then obviously has his Team of the Season card there. Haven't used him, but I've been reliably informed that he's a very, very good card indeed. Now, 2015 to 2018, he played for Racing. Mainly broke through this season, 23 games with 9 goals last year, and then bumped that right up with 20 games and 13 goals this season, and 18 in 28 in all comps, which is really, really strong for a player at the age of 20. Now, he's just signed for Inter at a pretty interesting fee. It was dependent on, well, his decision, he said, was going to be heavily dependent on whether or not they got into the Champions League. Now, I don't think the fee has been entirely confirmed, so I can't actually tell you guys what that is. But Lautaro Martinez, like I said, just signed for Inter, and another one of those youngsters that they've picked up. I wonder if he's really going to get much game time. Obviously, will probably be quite close with Mauro Icardi, due to both being Argentinian, of course, and it'll be interesting to see how they link up and if he gets much game time. Next up, we have a big one. Now, Naby Keita, obviously, this one was confirmed this time last year, but it's a summer transfer, so we're going to have a little look at him. 48 million release clause, plus some additional things. Obviously, RB Leipzig didn't get into the Champions League, so it's not as high as it could have been, but it's still pretty high. Now, he started off at Red Bull Salzburg. He moved to them in the Austrian Bundesliga in 2014. He played there for 2 seasons, playing 59 league games. If we slide it forward, we'll see he was there for 2 of his 4 seasons. Now, obviously, he's had like an informing cam. He's scored quite a few goals. I mean, career-wise, he scored 35 league goals in 140 games, which for a central midfielder is really, really strong. Obviously, you can see his shooting is at 71. He's also got 5 international goals. So really, really interesting kind of dynamic midfielder, played in a lot of different kind of roles in that midfield line. And if we look at his card in FIFA as well, you'll see he's once again reached Team of the Season and done some absolute numbers. Just look at that card. So he'll be lining up in that midfield with Fabinho at Liverpool next season, which is very, very interesting. And we look forward to seeing how he gets on. Next up, we have John Guidetti. Now this one, I just kind of wanted to chuck in because it just never made it at City, and I thought it was quite an interesting one, his career path. Now, started off at IF Brahma Guyana, definitely didn't say that right, I'm going to let you guys Google that one. No idea where that was. It was part of his youth career. 2008 he was there, but then he moved to Manchester City. He was at Man City for a while until 2015. Whilst he was at Man City, he went back on loan for a season to Broma Poicana. Then, yeah, I don't know either. Then he went to Burnley, then Feyenoord. This is the Feyenoord one you can see here. Had a year in Feyenoord. Scored 20 goals in 23 games. Madness. Went back to City for a season. Didn't really play. In fact, he's not got a single league appearance for City. Then he went on loan to Stoke. Then Celtic. Then moved to Celta Vigo. Then stayed there for a couple of seasons. Went to Alaves on loan for the second half of this season, so in 2018. And then he's joined them permanently now. I mean, it's ridiculous, just non-stop moves for this guy. He's been all over the place. 20 appearances for Sweden though, and I think he was blighted with injury for a little spell in that, but showed that he could be decent, scoring 20 and 23 for Feyenoord, but just never ever reached those heights again. So really interesting one. Only 1 goal in 20 games for Sweden. Interesting to see how he's going to get on at the World Cup. Next up we have Rafinha. Now this one, originally a Brazilian lad, born in Brazil, but spent most of his career in Portugal, as is quite common. A lot of Brazilians do play in Portugal. He's been at Vitória Guimarães, as I've said a few times throughout this one. I did that flipping thing again, didn't I, guys? I didn't put John Guidetti on the screen. Apologies for that. I'm too focused on the bottom stuff. Doesn't matter. We'll be all right. We'll be okay. Anyway, next up, as I was saying, is Rafinha. Now, this guy, he's spent most of his career in Portugal. He's currently playing at Vitória Guimarães. I still don't know if I'm saying that name right. He was upgraded to a 79 after having a 76 rate card. He's just moved on a permanent deal to Sporting Lisbon, and that's it for him really. That is all that I have. He's a pretty quick one. On to the next one, and that's going to be Leon Valu Gun. Now, I've seen this guy in FIFA for a few years. He's always been an annoying player that I seem to pack, but he's actually moved now to Brighton Hove Albion. Now, again, a really interesting one. He's got 16 Nigerian caps, so another player Brighton have picked up, as we mentioned, and he's got not a bad career past. Now, obviously, he played at Hannover 96. After the season, he moved to Werder Bremen, of which he stayed there for a few years. Moved to Fortuna Dusseldorf, dropped down to their division. Played at Darmstadt in FIFA 15, and I don't think they were in the game at the time. That's why he doesn't have a card there. Before moving to Mainz, where he's been the last few years, he's been pretty strong. Like I said, 16 appearances for Nigeria. Not the worst player in the world. He's in the 30-man Nigeria squad. Could potentially play at the World Cup. And yeah, Brighton have signed another player, so good for them. Exciting to see how they get on with that new signing. And then we have, last but most certainly not least, I had to leave this one in just because I love him so much. That is, of course, Santiago Cazorla. Santi Cazorla, I'm going to miss him so much from Arsenal. He's just left. He's left on a free. I believe he's training with Villarreal. We're hoping to play for them this season, but who knows what will actually happen. But Santi Cazorla starts off in FIFA at Villarreal. He'd started his career at Villarreal a long time ago, but actually his real youth career was at Real Oviedo. Now he's one of the big proponents of all the Real Oviedo fan-owned sort of stuff. He owns a lot of shares in the club. They gave him his start as a youth player. Then in 2003, he made his first top start for Villarreal, and absolutely quality player this guy has been. He was there for a few seasons, moved to Recreativa Huelva, don't know. Villarreal, obviously, then for a few years, and then moved to Malaga for one season, as you can see in a sec. This one where Malaga came into a ton of money, but then they kind of needed to sell some players because the money disappeared quickly, and he, of course, moved on to Arsenal. I was so excited at the time. I believe he's been the best midfielder we've had in a long time, and yeah, fair. What a boy. Gutted that his injuries have happened over the last few seasons. I believe he's had 8 surgeries to try and fix them. Absolutely horrendous, but Santi Cazorla, you've got to be in this episode, mate. But that, guys, brings us to the end of this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. It's been a long one. It's been hard for me to get through, but I just about have. If you have any particular teams like this you'd like to see me covered, obviously this one is the transfers one. Let me know if you want me to keep this up throughout the rest of the transfer window. And of course I will. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.